Steam Next Fest. Been a while since we looked at one of these because games just keep getting released and everyone needs a little break sometimes. Even two-headed mutants, right? Well, we spent several sleepless nights browsing through the 2,000 plus demos from this round of Next Fest to pluck out the best and the weirdest of these juicy little dopamine nuggets and serve them up to you. As always, you can help support us and reserve a cozy seat around this tavern fire by joining the Heroes table, or on that near the end of the video. But for now, let's get steamed up and jump into the latest and greatest and strangest that Next Fest has to offer. My name is Boss Sauce.
And I'm Roland Kunz. And together, we are the Two-Headed Hero.
Starting off with one of the weirdest moves I've seen during a Next Fest, we have Dune Awakening. Billed as a massively multiplayer survival crafting experience. Yep, another one. The game imagines an alternative Arrakis that never saw the beautiful blue-eyed stare of Paul Atreides. Cast in the boots of a prisoner, your job is to find the missing Fremen and restore production of the Spice Melange to the Empire.
The Spice Melange.
Sounds like a pretty cool idea, and I'd love to tell you how it plays or if it's even any fun, but the only thing this demo contains is a character generator, which is fine, but nothing too exciting. And what else? A benchmarking tool. Funcom. What the hell? What coke-nosed executive thought releasing a character generator by itself would build up enough hype to get some wish lists rolling? Let's move on. It's been 2 long years since Baldur's Gate 3 picked up its rightful place as the ruler of the computer RPG, and it feels even longer. Whew, just take this week. It's been a hell of a year. Even though Baldur's Gate 3 has cemented itself in the public mind of RPG fans everywhere with its modability and piles upon piles of awards, I'm sure I'm not the only one that has a Karlach-shaped hole in their lives ever since those ending credits rolled.
Stinky!
Enter Solasta II. A scrappy up-and-comer from small developer Tactical Adventures that hopes to take a shot at the RPG crown. The first Solasta might have felt more like a Dungeons & Dragons flavored XCOM game, but the demo for Solasta II really impressed me. Like Baldur's Gate 3, it might have an explorable open world full of beautiful vistas, bright blue waters, and tons of giant crabs. It even uses the Dungeons & Dragons open license SRD for its role-playing system, making it instantly familiar to anyone who sat around a Dungeon Master screen. Tactical combat, loads of skill checks, and some goofy conversations are all par for the course here.
Spill the beans! Or we'll feed you to a mage.
Sure, it could never hope to replace Asterion.
Who knows when we'll have another chance?
And some of the elements in its production value might feel a little closer to a Temu version of Baldur's Gate 3 rather than a true competitor, but for an early pre-alpha, this is all very promising stuff. RPG heads and tactics fans alike will definitely want to follow along. But if you'd rather shake the sand out of your boots and step through the Neon City streets, Neon Heart City might be just what you're looking for. This is the latest point-and-clicker from Cosmic Void, a small team that's known for making, well, old-school adventure games just like this one. I find their work to be cozy and nostalgic with well-written plots, interesting characters, pleasant pixel art, and puzzles that are usually not too overwhelming. And this is, well, more of the same. Rather than their previous titles, which had more of a golden age sci-fi theme, this game takes place in a dystopian near future where thoughts are strictly policed and violators are taken to a floating sky prison to have their minds erased. Take on the role of Elijah, a private detective tasked with searching for a missing teenager. A comic book store, a mysterious tower, and a sudden murder round out this 10-minute demo, leaving you with a massive case of narrative blue balls. But hey, Cosmic Void is a prolific developer, and if the demo for Neon Heart City is already out, you can bet that the full game is probably right around the corner. But if the other sides of Cyberpunk are more to your liking, pop open that Palm Pilot and head to Null State, a retro-styled hacking and management game. Slide through the clean and clever diegetic digital interface in your mission to hack the planet. Deal with quirky fixers to scrape up paying jobs, link to servers to steal data while defeating security measures with combat that works kinda like a cyberpunk spin on, Battleship. I'm always up for another take on the 90s cyber hacking motif, so if you're like me and wish that technology never progressed beyond clunky CRTs and clacky keyboards, this here is one to watch. Feral Metaverse is a game that defies description. A sandblasted hellscape looms into view before a feral humanoid unceremoniously plops down into the dirt. You take control of a wild-eyed homunculus that runs around on all fours and seems to stare directly into your soul at all times. Hop around on the odd surrealist structures scattered through the landscape in hopes of triggering, something? During my short time with the demo, I hit every key on my keyboard trying to figure out what to do and only managed to get this, and this. From the store page, it's clear that the digital art installation is meant to be organically experienced with a big group of strangers on the internet, and the trailers point to collaborative gameplay as the key piece of the pie here. So yeah, Feral Metaverse is weird, and that's putting it lightly. Keeping with the bizarre art games theme, we find ourselves in the shiny septic halls of The Corruption. Flip a switch that releases a horde of menacing squares. Traverse through the mysterious halls of progressively complex mazes filled with vaporwave statues and old telephones.
We will be one with the human ancestors we call the outer beings. Encoding corruption, we shall return to the outer body called Universe.
All while running away from the chilling sounds of the cubist horrors that chase you around. Fight back with some kind of weird bouncy ball light gun that destroys barriers and cube monsters in your path. Geometry has never felt so menacing. All in all, The Corruption seems to be a creepy and beautifully surreal take on the tired old survival horror formula that's well worth looking forward to. But hey, we're not done with weird games. Not by a long shot. Roguelite Deck Builder is the latest game from Gil Lawson, who last put out the incredibly odd assassination sim, Goblin America. Roguelike Deck Builder takes on a decidedly smaller scope. You're building a deck onto the back of your house to make your deformed clay husband happy, thus, Deck Builder. But the rear porch light keeps flickering due to presumably shoddy electrical work. It's a light that's gone rogue. Therefore, Roguelite Deck Builder. This premise might read like a meme, but it's deceptively simple. Most of the time you hammer nails into the deck using the game's goofy physics and try to avoid slamming your fingers into pulp while completing the job as fast and efficiently as possible to earn more money. The cash you earn allows you to upgrade the nails, hammer, boards, light, and so on until your deck becomes the envy of all of your neighbors. But the key to your freedom costs a staggering $1 million. Flattening nails and fingers isn't the only trick to the gameplay. There's special nails that have to be hit with finesse, bugs that can be squashed for extra money, and an underlying narrative at work with the mysterious skull nail. All in all, it's another silly diversion to keep an eye out for that seems to have a lot more going on under the surface. I don't know if you could call HYPERxFANTASY good, but it certainly is ambitious. Part minimalist platformer, part narrative RPG, part rhythm game, part open world adventure, it's another one that lands firmly into the realm of hard to describe. You awaken as a little upside down 2D exclamation point that can only hop around, but falling into a pit reveals an entirely new gameplay experience. Hand puppet wielding robots, menacing AI women, and naked men willingly murdering each other are just a couple of the moments you'll experience in the demo. Some dodgy controls and awful text-to-speech voiceover make this feel like an unpolished and overscoped student project at times.
Does that mean? Are you ready?
But still, there's something here. You'll find interesting storytelling with fourth wall breaks, offbeat humor, and even some narrative choices going on once you get past the initial sheen of jank. Definitely an indie game to keep an eye on if it gets the sanding that it so desperately needs. It starts out as a subway ride for a lowly failed music major, but it turns into an epic journey through city streets and subway stations. You've set eyes on joining the fabulous and mysterious Circus X, an underground organization that represents the pinnacle of culture and entertainment. How will you land this dream job? Well, that's up to you and the roll of the dice. Cosmo D is known for a particular brand of low-poly surrealist comedy games that usually include some sort of pizza-making mechanic. His latest, Moves of the Diamond Hand, is no exception. As with his previous games, Diamond Hand features vibrant color palettes, creative sound design, and colorful, disproportionate characters. The writing is on point, launching the player headfirst into its microcosm of unique lore within the opening seconds. But what really stands out is all the fun dice RPG mechanics. Cosmo-D's last game, Betrayal at Club Low, put you in the bright red jacket of a dice-rolling pizza man. Diamond Hand takes these same dice improvement mechanics and rolls with them to create a more refined RPG experience, while still having you sling dough in an integrated minigame. Each die represents a facet of your personality. You'll put your gambling skills to the test against security guards, dirty pizza ovens, giant pigeons, and way more, while slowly improving your own pile of dice. If you can't tell by now, I'm a fan of everything about this, from the narrative choices to the offbeat humor to the RNGesus-fueled gameplay. If any part of this speaks to you, Moves of the Diamond Hand should roll its way onto your wish list immediately. Demon Dust is a simplistic dungeon crawling RPG where you shoot the TV static off of meat monsters in order to collect their precious powders. Yeah, that sounds weird. Perfect for the list. You navigate boxy PS1 dungeons with archaic tank controls that do a pretty good job of mimicking first-person games from the mid-90s. Yep, tank controls, the mortal enemy of the modern horror gamer. Ammunition is really scarce, so for the most part you'll need to run away from these moaning flesh beasts in order to survive. Using the pill bottles and bullets scatters them all over your screen, forcing you to frantically click on each one of them to heal up and reload. This gets pretty intense when there's a lunch meat golem clobbering you in the face. Sending these abominations back to their home dimension is also tricky because they only take damage if you can make carefully aimed shots at their weak points. It's sort of like playing a light gun game, or System Shock 1, if you're an absolute fossil like I am. If you somehow manage to take one down, your reward is precious dust. Collecting enough dust allows you to upgrade your character's base stats, which might just give you the edge you need to survive your next encounter with these ham-glitch creatures. Overall, it's an interesting take on the dungeon crawler that warrants a closer look. Well, howdy, partner. I reckon it's been more than a dog's age since we've had a bona fide rootin', tootin', pointin', shootin' cowboy game jingle its spurs across our PC screens. So here we are, Chambers. It's an immersive western shooter filtered through the lens of 1990s PlayStation jank with more surprises than you can shake a six-gun at. One fateful night, bad hombres burn your house down and steal your rose coffin. You'll stop at nothing to get her back, come hell or high water. How will you go about this grisly task? Well, by gunning down the hundreds of banditos that get in your way, of course. Nearly every western trope you can think of is included in Chambers. Campfire cooking, campfire songs, playing cards, riding the range on your trusty horse, dueling with pistols at high noon, catching bullets in your teeth and spitting them right back out, watching a guy get interrogated in what looks to be a grain thresher maybe, getting set on fire by a robot-legged mesa monster. Yep, it's the true frontier experience. The holster thing's pretty cool since you actually gotta look down to draw your shooting iron. Good thing it fits nearly limitless amounts of guns too, since the weapons break frequently. There's a lot going on here and it's all very silly and very strange, so if cowboy action is what you crave, stick this in your wish list. Partner. Oh, it's time for a complete tonal shift. Here's Labyrinth of the Demon King. As a lowly foot soldier for a Japanese lord, your army is led into an ambush by a devious demon. You're the sole survivor, and your only path is to honor your oath of service. So you pick up the broken half of your katana, strap on your sandals, and set out for vengeance upon the dark forces that destroyed all your buddies. Soon you'll be faced down with possessed peasants and, bone-chomping cave dwellers during your quest for revenge. But you'll also find the occasionally helpful NPC that gives you hints on how to take down the Demon King. Or maybe they're just waiting for the chance to turn you into ramen noodle soup once you meet your own unfortunate demise. Labyrinth of the Demon King absolutely nails the survival horror feel of an old PS1 game, playing out sort of like a first-person Resident Evil with its area transitions and choppy, low-res cutscenes. Fortunately, Demon King doesn't limit you to tank controls or clunky melee. There's an involved parry and dodge system with Souls-like stamina management, a good ol' simmy boot to the face, and various attack combos for each of its weapons. Clever samurai will find ways to make the monsters fight each other, or put the game's rare magic talismans that are scattered around to good use. The pacing is deliberate, the vibes are immaculate, and I can't wait to slice my way through more of this castle's abominations. So there it is, a solid dozen of the greatest and strangest experiences from this round of Steam Next Fest. What have you been playing this week? And is there anything weirder than what we just talked about? Please let us know down in the comments below. Deepest gratitudes go out to those that directly support our channel over on Patreon and Ko-Fi. A couple of coins gets you early access to videos, more frequent updates, exclusive content, and special Discord roles. Endless praises for the heroes that donate at the Seat of Honor level, Wolfgang Bristol and John Mark Collado. And thanks to all that are gathered around our heroes table, including Adam Uselman, Jeduzable, Vulpes, Yaroslav Rybaki, and the rest. Your donations make all the difference, but if you find your wallet a little empty this month, it still really helps to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share our impeccable recommendations with all your gaming buddies. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next Two-Headed Hero.